All right. Turn the volume down on the tablet. Here we go. Hey, we're live. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Fishing with Gramps YouTube channel. My name is JT. Today we're out live on Patoka Lake. Live. Got my tablet set up over here so I can read comments. Got my DJI Osmo action camera in my hand. Put that on the chest mount. Got my microphone so you can get some decent quality. And I am out here looking for my first smallmouth out of my low 16.5. I don't even know what anything I catch will be my PB in the boat. Is 19.75. That's also my Indiana PB. And in the kayak world, we do it by inches. So we drop the fish on a catch board and measure them. I think my biggest smallie ever weight-wise was 4 something that I caught up in Wisconsin a couple years ago with the Kayak Adventure Series. But I don't have a PB at all in my boat. So, and I've only caught one smallmouth this year, and that was bank fishing right here on Patoka with my good buddy Josh. So, yeah, we're going to go live and shut up and get to fishing and bring you guys the action as we go live. We're just going to go through and try to, there's some good largemouth in here. It's like the second biggest fish lake in the state of Indiana. Let me try not to give you guys make sure I get this securely mounted on my chest cam. Nope, that ain't it. There we go. So we are taking you guys along for the action, and I'm actually going to start out with this quakey thing on a baitcaster. I found a heavier duty Neko, and a tungsten nail weight, and so I'm going to make sure I can cast this without backlashing. Shane says, hey, there's Shane, brother of my buddy Josh. And yeah, we're going to mess around with this quakey for a bit. This is I guess it's the Hag's prickly pear. I guess this bait came out last year when I was off the water, but there we go. Hey, I see we got testing her new motor NK180 on her new canoe. Looking forward to the content that she and Chase come out with on that. I know everybody starts with like a paddle, and then you get to a pedal, and then eventually you motorize. So Kayla is now motorized, and she can scoot around the lakes and all the fishing derbs. Save her energy for what we're actually here for, and that's bass fishing, chasing the bass. I'm gonna set my phone down here in the corner out of the way, since I got my tablet up here on my chair next to me. And yeah, I've been waiting all day for the rain to subside. Hopped over to Jasper and went and watched The Mandalorian. While I was waiting for the rain to subside. So here we go. We are now on the water, bringing you guys live from Patoka Lake in southern Indiana. Down here trying to catch a smallie. Now, my friend Liz fishes these down in Florida and has caught some like giants, 23, 24 inch monsters on this, and she says to kind of pop it like a jerk bait. So the cool thing about it is you can like, and I like the slow rate of this. I've got a 30 second Harmony, one of the Harmony that I got off of Amazon, and it was nice because it's the right size and it's the right weight for just barely getting this thing to fall. I think it just went over, but if you guys can see this down in the water, I'll drop it all in. You can see the fall rate on it. But I like the slow fall on it because I can throw it up here on these, and they're like a tube. I let it fall for a second, give it some pops, give it some pops, and then you know, kind of jerk bait it, let it fall, trying to get that reaction bite. Need to get around this log. Now, I'm throwing this on a bait caster. This is my base traditional Texas rig setup. So I got like 15 or 17 pound test line, but I've got a heavy duty Neko. That's a sniper Neko rig. So it's a little heavier gauge wire. You can see that Harmony tungsten sticking out both ends of it. I kind of got it through that way so that it falls evenly. But I see a lot of, you know, everybody fishing with like, you know, what do you call it? Treble hooks and things like that. But I've got what I've got for now. So we're just going to give this a ride and let it go. And hopefully... How's the fishing been down here? Well, I mean, I can't complain. Last time I was here, I caught an 18-inch largemouth and a 17.5-inch, and then a few dinks. But I've not been on the water a whole lot this year. I've been off of the water for basically the last year. Most of the fishing fam in the chat knows my story. I went down with open heart surgery last year after a big heart attack. And it kept me off the water for a long time. And I actually thought I'd be off the water this whole year, because right before my heart attack, I ended up giving myself a double hernia while cleaning up after a tornado. Last year was something else. 2025 was no friend of mine. Even though I ended up getting a new roof on the house and a new roof on the truck from the tree that the tornado split in half and threw on my house and truck. But I mean, I can't bitch. I am doing well, and but I mean, I've only been on the water a handful of times because I've been a bit. But like kayak fishing, that's about 3. We can put the past in the past. We're getting ready to come up on my year anniversary of my big deal, and you know, we'll talk about that a little bit when the time comes. Maybe share a little bit, so through experience I can maybe help a little bit. But yeah, blessed to be out here and enjoying God's green earth on a Sunday afternoon. I know the Indy 500's going on, and then tonight the Coca-Cola. But yeah, let me know what you guys think, man. I'm trying to bring you a little better experience. Got the Starlink in the back of the boat. My camera. I'm just trying to take you guys with me live. Normally you catch this section after videos that I edit later on. The water. If I can catch some good fish, then I can make some good highlight reels and stuff like that too. But man, if this works out, I don't even have to sit down and spend all that time editing videos. I can just come out and fish and do clips for highlights and such. I know I need to back off this point and fish it fairly well. I'm going to kind of hit it a little bit closer here and then back off, because I think this time of year points are going to be where they're at. Actually, one of the couple of fish I caught was right in here on a tube on Thursday, was it? I believe it was Thursday. Man, time flies. I am so ready for this out of here so we can get back to fishing on a regular basis. But I'm blessed. Got the boat up and running. My boat that I affectionately call my Bonafide XTR 1675, even though we all know it's the black and green edition, fishing with Gramps low. My V-bottom aluminum boat. We're gonna have some good adventures on this year, taking the kids out, kids and grandkids. We get a little bit lower down so you guys get a better shot of the water that I'm actually fishing. Of course, leave it to me to put a Loomis down on my lap, get bit, and have it get pulled in the water. But yeah, I got this Loomis. It's my Texas rig rod, a jigworm rod. Actually broke the tip off of it and put a new one on. It came 7.1. It's about 6.9 right now. Colorado 70 on it. My nose. Been building my arsenal up, so I have all the good stuff that I want to retire and fish with. Don't know how many we got in the chat, but hey, hope you're all out enjoying the weekend. Got a lot of waves popping in here with all the boat traffic coming by, but that's all right. I'm gonna fish this bank and then circle back a little bit and hit this point a little better. See if we can get somebody to bite on this big old hags. And the reason why I'm throwing it is if somebody bites this, it's going to be a big one. When I come back in and move out a little farther out, I'll been working on getting my casting back together. Been off the water, but old Gramps has been bass fishing for a minute, so it don't take me too long to get dialed back in when it comes to casting. I was skipping a fluke and a Senko the other day, just like I hadn't been off the water. Gotta love it. YouTube is not receiving enough video to maintain smooth streaming. Oh, that sucks. I wonder why. I got the Starlink going. Come on. Should have to pick up the channel. Let's refresh the screen, see what it says. There we go. I see YouTube's telling me it's not getting enough signal, but I mean, we should be. Got plenty of battery. Starlink should be connected fairly well. We'll switch it from top chat to live chat. It was cutting in and out, sounding like a robot. Well, that sucks. Hopefully these skies will open up a little bit and let me... Alright, I refreshed it, so hopefully Starlink will do what it's supposed to do. As we all know, there's not a whole lot of cell signal on a lot of these remote lakes in Indiana. Shane says we're good now, though. Good, good. Excellent. That's the thing with live streaming. It's always not always the same quality. I got a little sprinkle going again. Little bit of a sprinkle. Doesn't look like too much. Hopefully it doesn't jack up my tablet. It shouldn't. It's in a little cover with the ports on the side, so I might have got too close to the trees and that interfered with the Starlink, so I'll back out some too. I'll make a couple more casts and pull out a little farther from the bank. Work this point a little bit, see where these fish might be hanging. Gotta remember to give it a little pop like Liz says to do. Just stay out here from the trees. I'm in 6 foot out here where I'm at, so. Nobody up shallow, which, you know, hey, you never know when they're going to be up shallow or out deeper. I'm going to fish the edge of these rocks and then back off of this point a bit. Still got a little bit of rain coming down with the sun out completely, of course. I'm just looking for somebody to smash this thing and rip the rod. Here, fishy, fishy. So if somebody eats this thing, it's going to be a big one. Looks like you guys are getting a pretty good view of it. That was my goal. Now we just need to see a bald eagle. Make my whole weekend. Get my freedom bird in. If I was in the kayak. All right, let's get one more cast over there. Gotta drag that tube down that. A little bit of brush right there. Oh, I need to get back. Tastes like it's a good one. Net's back here on the floor. In case we find a big one we need to get to. Head on my XTR. Grab our little finessey tube. Actually, I need to dip my little tube in a little bit of the chartreusey juicy. I didn't have any. Had to go to Walmart and pick up a fresh new bottle. So I can figure out where the plastic is. There we go. A little bit of the juicy juice. Should put my trash in my pocket. Get my tail. Uh-oh, I just poured that down my hand like a dork. Of course I did. What's going fishing without covering yourself in the yellow juice, huh? Alright, let me get you a little dip. I dip, you dip, we dip. There we go. There we go. Yep. A little chartreusey on the hands. That'll be fun going into work on Monday. Everybody know what I was doing. Alright, let's get whipped around here. Saw one on the island, swoop down. Oh, hell yeah, that's cool. Yeah, I don't know the landmarks of Patoka much. I know the point that Josh likes to fish. King's Bridge, I like putting him way up there. I'm trying to ramp by ramp start learning my way around. So I'm down here at the Newton Stewart ramp. People are like, Gramps, you're telling everybody where you're fishing at. They're going to fish there for derbs. Yeah, that's fine. If somebody comes here and fishes here because I was here and they catch fish, they know who. But I'm really trying to learn. Probably highway. But I mean, I'm not here to gatekeep. If I catch fish and you see me catching fish here, well, you know where I caught fish. So I'm just trying to learn this area. There's a lot of chunk rock bank here. I just know in my heart and soul that at some point there has to be smallies here. You know, I just know it. Let me get the motor pointed that way a little bit. You know, I just feel like if there's any place in here that's gonna have smallies, this seems like it would be a good spot. But, you know, like I said, I'm gonna learn each area and move around to different ramps after I, you know, kind of get very familiar with kind of each of the areas. And that's how I'm gonna start learning this lake. I'm just gonna keep coming down here over and over again, because the Indiana Kayak Bass Nation, you know, they have tournaments down here, and I need to have some places to fish. Okay, yeah, that's what you're calling. Yeah, that island, I was actually studying that on a map, and I'm gonna take some screenshots from my fish finder and show Josh where he likes to fish, where the deep water runs into that and then shallows up into a V right there in the area that he likes to fish. So it makes logical sense, you know, why the fish that are there are there. I'm gonna go fish that later. I'll probably drag a football jig down that from the water today, just because I really want to catch one of those class smallmouth like he did, especially in the boat. I keep saying I need to back out, and so that's what I need to do. Speaking of which, since I am a little deeper, I'm gonna grab, it's still a finesse jig, but I'm gonna drag a jig down that. I've got a heavier football jig that I'm gonna use on that point out there later, but I'm gonna pull this jig through this point and see if we can't get somebody to come chomp. Yeah, it's funny because I know Josh has fished, you guys have fished that point a lot. I got a buddy of mine at work who lives in Shoals, and he comes down, he kind of grew up down in this area as well, and he fished that. He talks about that little island all the time. That's kind of where he kind of cut his teeth as well, along with the river and stuff. Let's see if I can drag this a little bit. I'm going to try to keep contact with the bottom. Dirt cover used out there almost every day. Yeah, I don't blame you. I got water skiers heading at me. Hopefully they kind of keep heading back up that way and so forth. That's okay. The waves kind of keep me hidden from the fish, with all the waves coming in and then washing it up a little bit. Pretty good here for a little bit, and then work my way up the bank, rocks with a variety of baits. Look for a big one to be pulled up there. I kind of like this view. It's almost like you're sitting in the boat fishing, except you would probably Yeah, it goes from no feet down to 16 feet out here. I'd probably be smart to grab that football jig and cast it from out here too. I got this finesse jig on because I want to be able to pop it in and out of the chunk rock that we're going to run into. Yeah, there was a rock there. We'll throw a little bit of everything. I want to make a few passes on this, and this runs for probably a quarter mile up before it bends in. But I didn't go up the bank any further after that cove, but I was studying a map and now know I need to keep going further, because this chunk rock like this, like for a good almost half a mile, maybe a mile up this stretch. So I'm hoping my chances. I'm trying to play the game of, you know, find rock, find smallies. So that's kind of the goal today. But any smallmouth I catch in the boat will be my boat PB smallie. Be the first bronze in the old green machine. Dragging it a little at a time. This is kind of my do everything finesse jig rod. Probably the most. My NRX Plus. The two, you know, if I only had two rods, if I had to sell everything, the fish rods the rest of my life, this is one of the two. Heavy fast, the NRX Plus, and then I've got a 7-foot something medium spinning rod. But this is my Metanium DC reel. I'm not flexing, I'm just showing you. This is my, these are my going into retirement for me. Have I ever fished at Tucker Lake? I have not. Is that the one that's just north of here? Seems like every time I get on this side of these trees, I lose signal. So I probably need to stay out and just keep moving. Apparently there's something about this corner that the Starlink is losing its signal. So let's go ahead and start moving up the bank. Yeah, there's something about this. The satellites must be on the other side of these, over that way somewhere, because that's when I'm losing a signal. So hopefully I got you back, Shane. Oh, okay. Take their kayaks out there and fish. Okay, gotcha. I've seen it on the map. You know, I don't know that it would be in play for any Bassmaster event that we had here, so I'm really trying to learn, you know, like the big water, you know, and find some spots that I can make my own. Yeah, I figure I'm gonna run up this into the point of this cove and then cross over and go up that bank. Just looking at it, talking to some friends. It's got all this chunk rock bank. I figure if there's gonna be a spot that maybe I can, you know, find a smallie on, this might be the way, so to speak. There's Josh. What's up, brother? I'm out here trying to do my you impersonation. I'm gonna work these rocks along these two bluff walls over here by Newton again. And then I'm gonna go check the marina again. And then we all know I'm gonna end up out at your spot here at some point dragging a football jig. I realized when I was on my way down here earlier that I've never caught a smallmouth out of my boat. So I don't have a boat PB. Tucker Lake is pretty big. We just started fishing there as kids when we lived out there. Just watch out for copperheads. Oh yeah. Yeah, we're in Indiana. I know between water snakes and copperheads, always something to be on the lookout for. I know a lot of people, they see water snakes in the water and they think they're copperheads. But I got introduced to copperheads when I was young, especially the little young copperheads with the yellow tails. Their venom is something special. They're a little more aggressive than when they get older, but yep, always got to be on the watch out. Somebody actually saw a big copperhead on one of our walking trails in Bedford not long ago, between Bedford and Williams. Posted a picture of it and I was like, oh, that's a big one. Just got home from work, put line on a combo to throw smaller jigs. Yeah, that's what I was just saying. My small jig combo. This is my, you know, this is my money rod, my NRX Plus, and I'm throwing a little Strike King 1/4 ounce with the Crust City. I can't remember what the crawl is, but I think I've got 15-pound Seagar on it, and I'm throwing it on my Metanium 70. So this is like my finesse jig, and then I've got a heavy that I throw like jigs on. That's what I got my football head on. Yeah, this is my finesse jig setup, so to speak. Trying to remember how to cast. Slowly coming back around. Been fishing with the sissy stick so much this spring. But yeah, we're running back up this rock bank again, and I'm actually going to grab that quickie again. I've got that on my Texas rig rod. I got it with like a heavier Nico rig and a tungsten nail going through it. I need to let that just loose just a little bit so I can get a little casting distance on it, but not backlash. Saw a rattlesnake at Bound County State Park, 6 foot long. Yeah, there's been some photos of people that go to the Brown County State Park. They're over there horseback riding or whatever, but there's always that rumor that DNR, put rattlesnakes in there years ago, and then all of a sudden everybody starts seeing those big ones show up. Like, there's no need to introduce another venomous snake in this state. All of us. I like this Hag's prickly pear, especially over this chunk rock, because I think it falls slow enough that it can entice a bite. Plus shaking it might entice a bite, but it's not so fast that it ends up down in the rocks, where like even my Senkos fall pretty fast and get stuck in there. I need to start casting farther ahead, not behind, but I got to get the technique down, get used to casting bait casters again. But yeah, lots of chunk rock. Charlie in the chat. What's up, Charlie? Doing good, doing good. Blessed to be out here on the water today. I was supposed to fish this morning, but it decided to rain, so I went and parked the boat in the parking lot and went and watched Mandalorian until the rain blew over. And now we're out here with a beautiful day. Blessed faux show. Trying to find one of these Smallies in the rocks. They're probably out deeper, I don't know. I'm hoping they would be up in them rocks trying to find them some crawls. I probably need to throw that little trooper up there or some other crawl baits. Looking for somebody looking for a snack. But I'm hoping to entice them with this hags first. I've seen people catch big largemouth, and Josh caught a big, I'm pretty sure Josh caught his PB smallmouth on this thing down here at Patoka. That might have been the Morning Dawn color. I got one of those too. I might have to put it on. I figure with this water just barely stained, this kind of light green pumpkin chartreuse looking one might entice a bite. At least that's what I'm hoping. There's Scott Vermonter in the chat. What's up, brother? Good to see you. We're just out here trying to catch a smallie. We realized on the drive down this afternoon, whatever it was, I have never caught a smallmouth out of the boat. So yeah, anything we catch will be a PB. We've caught him in the kayak. Caught one earlier on the bank fishing with Josh. And now we're out here in the green machine that I bought during COVID. Got it for a steal. I could probably sell this boat right now and make $15,000 over what I paid for it during COVID. But I did the same thing with my truck. Just kind of worked out that way. But I'm glad I got it because no kayaks to fish out of. But we got the boat, so we're blessed. We're going to be doing some, now that I got this all figured out, we're going to be doing some live streams with my sons and their daughters. Jess wants to come out here and go fishing. Figured once we get the rain kind of settled down and got the settings and everything all dialed in, start getting some, Josh said he's hunting a 5-pound smallie and a 6-pound largie. Yep. The PB in Indiana is 687. I caught that in the row, I think back in 99. I was fishing in our club classic. I was fishing out of the back of a boat, dragging a Carolina rig. My PB overall is 876, and I caught that, I'm thinking maybe it was 98 or 99. No, 97. Before I moved back to Indiana in 98. So I think it was like 97. Fishing the bank of Lake Fork with Jeremy. Caught that on a Terminator spinnerbait. And then a few years later, Jeremy was guiding on Fork out of his nitro, and he caught an 11 something. Loving your X-Pride 7.2. It's amazing. Yeah, love me some X-Prides. Love me some X-Prides. I love my Lumas, don't get me wrong. But if Shimano was like, hey bro, you want to be sponsored? I would like, yes please. And I would build every one of my bait casting and spinning rods with the X-Pride series. And then I would use Shimano Corrados probably for all that. So Shimano, if you're ever watching, I have been fishing with Shimano Corrados since very early 90s. And I've actually still got one of my old Bantams. And I actually saw one. I should have picked it up. It was on the rod locker. It was at the rod locker. Somebody traded it in. And I almost bought it just to have as another decoration. But yeah. Mainstream says, miss y'all, be back soon. That's right, brother. Hey, you know how it is. We got priorities we got to deal with first. Life comes first for sure. Trust me, I could preach all about it. But yep, the fishing fam is always here. I'm gonna catch a big one on this hags. I just know it. If I can get it up there without, I need to back off of this tree line a bit because the signal was getting blocked earlier. Boy, I just went over a big old brush pile. Look at that shit. I got the old school Humminbird up front, but that is a big old brush pile or a rock pile. There's some bluegill in the water swimming. Let's get off the bank a little. Life is life, and yes, sir. That is faux show. I know that 100%. But you know what? We're all here for each other. We all support each other, and we all get back to it when we can. Of course, you know me. If you ever need anything, you call me. Shameless says where he's living is like a big catfish thing. Hey, I get it. Richard Gene, the fishing machine, he catches all that stuff. Catfish, bass, crappie, all the goodies. I'm gonna do some crappie fishing here before too long. I need to get some line on one of my little loose crappie rods. Haven't been leaving alone over here. I was getting ready to post some shit, talk some shit yesterday about Hallie and last year, but I can't be doing all that because you guys are on a run. I can't talk about last year or maybe next year. You guys are doing it to it, so I've been thinking about you. I have been thinking about you. I want to be talking some smack, but my boys tried tossing the season to get a higher draft pick, but that's all right. I hope we're back next year to mess with y'all, but for now you guys are on a bender. Yeah, there it is. I ain't gonna lie though, I want to see the Knicks and I want to see Wemby in the finals. I want the Spurs and the Knicks. But you know, them Spurs got some work to do. Wemby can't do it all. And OKC, as we all know, ain't no joke with Shea and the crew. So either way, you guys do the work and get in the finals, and then whichever way it goes, you'll have your work cut out for you. But it'll be a blessing, I know. I know how that goes. The Patoka crappie juice. All right, cool. I just know somebody's gonna smash this hags. I just feel it in my bones. I got all these other Smallie baits tied on. Now, am I willing it to happen? Maybe. I just feel like a giant is gonna fucking try to rip this rod out of my hand. I just feel it. Good Lord is like, throw it. Throw it. I keep saying yeet. Throw it. Like my boy who'd be doing all the sports memes. But I know if somebody bites this, oh, it's gonna be a big one. Gonna be a big one. Now I got like a big pontoon houseboat type thing up here. They got a water slide and everything on it. I think Dad must be fishing and the kids are swimming because they've set on both of these 2 points. If you can see way up there, he's on the next point up. And he was on this point when I pulled in to park in the cove and shoot a video. And then I came around there after shooting a video, and he's moved up to the next point since, but I don't know if they're playing or fishing. They might be doing a combo of both. As much as I want to grab one of those Neds, the tubes, the jigs, my bones are telling me just stick with this and be patient. If there's going to be a big one swimming, he ain't going to be able to say no. He is not going to be able to say no. There's still a lot of rocks out here where I'm at too. I just know it. I feel it. Now I could get up here and be skunked and, you know, you can feel it all you want. You ain't fishing with the fish want, but Josh says that boat's there every day. Okay, gotcha. I just know somebody's gonna come out and bust this bait and try to rip it out of my hands. I hope I'm ready. Yeah, Memorial Day being the weekend being like the official launch of boating season, I get it. Everybody hitting the party coves and everything. I hope you guys like the instead of having to go, you know, fish for 10 hours a day and then edit video. If the quality in the video and the sound is there, then man, I can just do this and not have to edit. You know, I'll shoot like review videos to make like highlight montages and stuff, but you guys let me know how you like the live fishing experience. I'm hoping that the Starlink was worth the investment. I played it off to my wife as it also makes a good backup emergency, you know, access if power goes out or whatever, and we need Wi-Fi to communicate. But I'm hoping you guys like the experience that we're bringing to you. High quality audio. Not that I've got a golden voice for radio or anything, but you know, just trying to up the game a little bit. I'm a part-time YouTuber, but I'm trying to bring, you know, good experience while I'm out here. For those who can't get on the water, I can take you with me. Or if you can't get on the water and you watch the video later. Shane says I'll watch regardless. I dig it. Yeah. Yeah, I'm trying to with me. Look at all that chunk rock. It is so gorgeous. It's so gorgeous. Tell me there's a fish up here swimming this bank. Alright. Liz told me to pop this, so I'm going to let it sink. Get down there a little bit. Pop, pop. Pop, pop. See if that's the juice. Don't whack the trolling motor. I do need to do something real quick. I didn't post on Instagram or Facebook that I was live. Let's make a quick Instagram-y post. Instagram story. Turn it around. Live. Done. Put that up here. Make it a little smaller. On YouTube. There we go. Share, done. Stuffing things. Oh, there's Ralph. He caught some fish. Look at there. Ralph got some goodness. Watching live now. Precision Shable. Can you send me a picture of it, Mars? Oh. Ralph was watching the live. He wants me to see the precision sonar cable system on the trolling motor for the transducer wire. Can you send me a picture of it? Will do when I get done. There you go. All right, Ralph. Yeah, I'll do that. It's just the two clamps, and then I run the cable down. What Ralph was talking about, for trolling motors like ours that aren't the traditional lift cable, They make these like this because you can buy an upgrade to it where you can run the trolling motor with a remote control. So say if I was going to have my kids up here on the front fishing, I could sit back in the chair and run the trolling motor from the back. But what you give up with that is the ability to just run regular transducer cables and stuff. So for me, I want I want a fish finder underneath on the motor, and so Precision Sonar makes a clamp system, if you see up here, that holds the cable out from the motor and lets you run it down. And there's another clamp down by the motor head, and so it's a little different. So you don't have that problem on your traditional pull cable lift out. Mine, you kind of pull it up and then lay it back. But so it's just like a different setup, but it's not really meant for, hooking fish finder stuff to. But I wanted one up there, and so does Ralph. And Ralph actually has the same type of motor, but it's spot lock as well. If I'm not fishing, I'll watch it and talk about it. Yeah, there you go. Thanks, Josh. Come on, I know you guys want this. I know it in my bones. Somebody eat it. I need rock walls, but stay out a distance so I don't lose signal again. Yep, what I'm doing. Pull out from the bank and refresh the screen. I got to stay away from the bank. I get too close to the bank. Oh, don't play the whole verify it's me thing again. Come on, YouTube. Always show. Continue. Use pattern. YouTube keeps trying to get me to verify that it's me. Hopefully I'm back for you guys. I keep getting too close to the tree line, and apparently it's blocking the Starlink. You like the morning dawn? All right, let's see. I figured this. I mean, that looks pretty damn good in the water. But I did bring out the old morning dawn, so let's go ahead and we'll rig it up real quick. I'm just going to leave this set up like it is so I can retie it back on where I want. But I'll just set you over here. Try not to fall off the chair down in here. Uh-oh, getting too close to the bank again. The waves are carrying me in. We will bust out that morning dawn. Here and hang it like that. Alright, so I need to pay attention first of all. I need where is my Where did I put my hook box? I'm over here losing my mind and stuff. Oh, here it is, under my feet. Duh. Alright, so let's we'll grab one of these big tungstens. And we're gonna grab one of these heavy duty Nico. Heavy duty. I'm gonna find the holes. There it is. That boy takes some work to get in there. I'm trying to stab my hands. Getting too close to the rocks again. If I get it through, it'll grab on the other side and hang it, keep it in there. Go through, poke through. There we go, haha. Got your ass. Alright. Poke through one more, there we go. Now we're about even. Alright, get our hook tied on. Yep, getting too close to the rocks, losing signal again. Need to get my sunglasses out. Can't. That was not a good knot. Jesus H, I need to face the waves before I get thrown out. There we go. There we go, get a good chunk of meat. Alright, let's see if they like this color any better. Yeah, I need to get my sunglasses on while I'm talking about it. Go. All right, let's get in here and try this again. All right, we're in 18 feet. I need to get a little closer, but I gotta make sure I stay out far enough to not lose our signal. Need to find your glasses too? Yeah. The good thing about the buoyancy of these, with that 3/32 weight, it falls just fast enough to get their attention, but not so fast that if you kind of lose concentration for a second, that you'll sink all the way down in the rocks. So I can see the chunk rock coming out about 6 feet from the bank, or from the rock wall, and so I'm just kind of popping it over the top of that. Got a good point, because I can actually see that a little better in the water. But I need to be casting up ahead of us and not behind us. So if there's anybody eyeballing us. Hey, there's Sly Fox. What's up, bro? Glad to have you in here. What do you think of our live stream setup, dude? I got the tablet over here where I can watch the chat. Got you guys up here where you can see the action live out here on Patoka while we're trying to chase the smallie. If I tell you I'm trying to force a bite, I am, because I'm trying to catch one on one of these prickly pears. Had your grandbabe since yesterday. That's awesome. Yeah, I don't get to see mine as much right now with the price of gas and then splitting time at their mom's house and Shane's house. But hopefully once they get out of school, we can keep them for a little more time. But you know, life be lifing sometimes. That's the way it goes. We appreciate seeing them when we can. But yeah, I figured since I'm stuck in the boat, I was going to up my game so I can maybe do more live streaming, and you know, this will keeping me from having to edit videos. If I can go live doing this, then I can always download it later and do like highlight reels. But this will save me some time as we're pushing up on our, knocking on the door of 35,000 subscribers. Who would have ever thought? Who would have ever thought? 35,000. That is absolutely fantastic. And I don't care about the money side of YouTube. My goal is to get a silver play button someday. If it's the same 500 people watching every video, I'll take it all day long. But man, I wish they would do something for like views too, instead of just subs. But I mean, I know that's how they operate. But man, I want that little YouTube button to be sitting behind me someday. Yeah, Sly Fox been working his butt off, I know that much. Gina was in here the other day when I was out here, bro. I had your Christmas party gone bad frog. It was in one of my my bait things of, you know, stuff I knew I couldn't sell, but that got out of the tackle box and back up onto the fishing wall in the man cave again. It's still on my little loop of fishing line for the Fishmas tree. But if I never get a silver play, that my babes can play. Who knows? Maybe someday after I'm long gone, that future great grandkids can learn to fish from me. Pass it along to future generations. Have that frog bent hook and all. Yeah, me and Jeremy's going to go do some frog fishing here before too long. Get this rain out of the way. He's got another lake not too far from where he lives. And they got a lot of pads and stuff over there. So we're gonna go do some frog fishing stuff over there as soon as we can get all this rain and whatnot out of here. But my goal right now is to catch a smallie because I don't have any bronze that have crossed the lines of this boat. And I need to catch a smallie. I need to it's caught plenty of bass and bluegill and all that, but it's never had a bronze over the gunnels. So that is today's goal. Well, the goal of the foreseeable future. Caught a nice 18-incher on Thursday, and a 17.5. So those are my two big fish of the year. Are these fish really gonna make me pick up a tube? Come on. I know somebody's up there. Somebody's up there on them rocks. This thing is going to be a good one. I'm sticking to my guns. I'm gonna keep throwing this big fuzzy thing. I know somebody's gonna come across it sooner or later. Of course, as far as I know, these bass could be out. They could be out deep spawning right now, and they're nowhere near up here. The two places that I caught fish in early April last year, I haven't got bit. But I'm gonna hit this. I'm gonna spin the bank next up, and then we'll go hit the marina. Who knows? There was a BFL up here this last weekend. Maybe this is all they saw of these koikis. They could already be used to it, and I'm messing up. Alright, I'm going to try a little Ned. A little trooper. Maybe they want like a baby crawl. Maybe that's what it's gonna take. I'll throw a little trooper up here on these rocks. Knowing me, it's probably gonna get stuck in everything and broke off. I know I need to get up a little closer. Maybe they'll be in the mood to eat some. Oh, there's a carp over here jumping. This might just hit top water. I do have a top water like cicada type bait I could be throwing too. Couldn't tell what kind of fish that was. It could have been a carp or something, but who knows. But it jumped back here under this tree, so, well, not quite over there, but I know not to throw behind me because that's the fastest way to get stuck in the rocks. Alright, let's quit fishing behind us and fish ahead of us. That way if we get stuck, we can go in and get it. I gotta give this little Ned a little more oomph. There was a little tap of something. But my line ain't moving. That could have been a bluegill on the bed in the rocks. Somebody was like tap, tap, tap. I know I want to grab that wacky rig or a fluke and skip it all the way up to the rock wall. Got down in the rocks. Let's get up here ahead of us a little bit. Probably should pick that tube up just to be a little more, or that jig. Be a little more mindful of these big chalk rock. I think this net will play down in the marina more than it will out here in the bigger chunk rock. I should put one of those juvie crawls on, thinking about it. Little crawl tube combo. Oh, casted that one in the tree. Let's see if I can get her out of there. There we go. Maybe one of those little juvie crawls in the rocks might play a little better than the net. Stay away from the trees because we lose signal. Banging that off of those rocks. All right, we got some trees coming up, so we're gonna go back to the jig. A little more finessey jig. Come through these trees a little better. Yep. My motor turned all the way around. Pull out from the rocks a little more. Yeah. Let's go forward. Got a little waterfall there. I might try to cast up into that. A little freshwater run in. Water skiers are out there turning it up pretty nice. Uh-oh, do we have a fish? Or do we have a stick? I think we got a stick. I almost feel like there'd be some fish sitting in that little run-in right there. There's lots of stuff in there. I'm getting hung up on stuff, but I'm able to pull through it. Tree pounder, yeah, that's right. See if we can get over here where you guys can see it better. Let's see. Oh, I do have 2 Neds tied on. I do need to take one of the Neds off and put a fluke back on. Probably leave this one on and take the trooper off because the other one's supposed to be mine. Actually, probably put the fluke on this one. But we'll see if the old fuzzy TRD is doing the work. Jig worm, swim jig. I think I need to go ahead and tie my fluke back on because that was catching them for me the other day too. Whee! These boats are beating the shit out of me. Alright, there ain't nobody in there. And I'm not going to throw that around those. Yeah. Chatterbait rod. Go back to the jig until we get past all these trees. Need to get back out away so that we don't lose signal again. Probably a green fish hanging up here under these logs. And coming through all the branches. Well, it was. My little tungsten strike king head. There we go. Get my little flapper out of there. Spinnerbait, yeah. I'm all out of spinnerbaits. I got one little finesse one I got in a monster bass box, but I got to restock on those. I picked up a bunch of 6 cent stuff from Jermaine when he was doing a whatnot stream, but I think I sold all my mega bass spinnerbaits. So mega bass is what I throw, those SB3s. I need to go order some of those too, thinking about it. I found a couple of black ones that I had. I got all kinds of stuff I need to reload on, that's for sure. I am down to each payday I'll order a little bit more stuff. Had to spend some money on an oil change kit and whatnot for the boat. And of course, the gas ain't cheap as always. Yeah, I'm the same way, Josh. I love those Megabass spinner baits and buzz baits. Those are my jam. I need to go order some more of those. Let's see if I can do a little flip right next to that laydown. All right, it's prickly pear time again. I'm determined. I haven't picked up the Senko yet. I'm doing it on purpose. Trying to get this. There we go. I will probably Senko and wacky rig this all the way back down. But I'm trying this prickly pear. Trying to get a big one. We get around to this corner, we're going to motor over to that next corner and see if there's rocks there. If it's not like this, then we're going to turn back around and come back and fish this again. Back down to that point, and then we're going to motor down to the marina. Trying not to motor around too awful much, just so I can maximize my time. You know, not putting rods and stuff away and doing all that. I want to spend more time fishing. Yeah, Booyah makes good baits. Booyah, Young, all the... I think those are all part of the Pradco line. Of course, my original favorite crankbaits ever were the Bandit, which I believe they're also part of Pradco. Yeah, I keep telling Grant if I ever... part of me has said in the past that I thought about trading in this and getting a pontoon for the grandkids and then fishing out of the kayak, but loading and unloading those things are a pain in the butt. My boss just picked up one and they're out camping and pontooning this weekend. I need to be casting ahead of me, not behind me. That way if I get stuck, I can go get it. Yeah, bandits were my jams back in my early tournament days. Had one of those raccoon hats. Yeah, the old Terminator titanium. That was my jam forever. Still holds my PB. I don't even know, are they still in business? I don't even know who they're under these days. Seems like everybody's under somebody these days, but I have no idea. These rocks. Charlie said he just sold his boat. That's always a man's happiest day, the day he buys his boat and the day he sells his boat. course, if I sold this one, I'd go get a jet boat so I could fish the rivers. But part of me says I could solve that problem by getting an inflatable, like from Innovative Waters or Innovative Sportsman, put 300 on. That might be a play someday. Have like an XTR for lakes, and then an Innovative Sportsman inflatable for the rivers. Even though the PWR 129 is perfect for both of those. That's why Jeremy's got his. If I hadn't sold mine, that's what I'd be doing too. But I figure, hey, iCast is coming. There'll be something new coming out. Either way. I wouldn't say no if Old Town sent me a kayak. I'd go back and join the team again. At some point in time, I was like, oh, I want to do reviews. No, I just want to fish now. But I'd fish out of Old Town or Bonafide. Either one of them wanted to send me a kayak. Big old turtle just popped up. Yep, later, homie. He took one look at me and said, okay, bye. Alright, we got a lot of stick-ups out here, so we are going to pick the jig back up and not lose the prickly pear. Because the more jigs I have, more hags I don't. I guess I should be pitching here. Right now I'm just kind of in a casting mood. I'll pick those logs apart with a Senko or a fluke on the way back. Yeah, one of the Sea-Doo jet skis. Yeah, I saw Christine fishing on one of those once. That'd be the way to go, though. You can, rivers or lakes, you could be all over the damn place. These smallies must be out deep. Probably spawning somewhere. I don't know how they spawn or where they spawn. Do they do deep water? Do they do shallow like largemouth? I don't know. I just want to catch one cruising. I don't know what they're doing this time of year. I should probably sit down and spend some time reading about it, but until I kind of get this anesthesia fog off my brain, I can't really remember much. So we're just fishing. I need to go study how they do on lakes and rivers and stuff like that too. Start becoming a student of the smallie game. But the one, well, the smallie master I know, he's all about throwing those, all about throwing the flukes, the scented jerk shads. All right, we still got some rock up through here. So I'm going to, where to go? I'm gonna cut you back off, leave my other net on. Ooh, I'm running out of leader on this bad boy. I need to retie a new leader when I get home. Get one of our lighter weight Nikos. Make sure that loop goes over the other two thingies. I'm gonna bust out the old Senna jerk shad today. The old Jeff Little favorite, but we're gonna nose hook it like Josh likes to do. There we go. See if we can pull somebody off of these rocks over here. All right, Slapbox, take her easy, bub. Yes, sir. Go spend some time with them babies. I think I am going to have to get this fluke. This one doesn't want to... I don't want to top. I want to a little bit, but I forget. These are elastic. I want to stay up top. And I don't want to fish it like a topwater. I want it to sink a little bit. Alright, we're going to motor across to the other side and see if that's a rock wall over there too. Let's see, view for a Mini Max trailer. Get the regular old fluke back out. There we go. All right, let's do a quick motor across the way. I'm just going to leave the trolling motor down, but well, maybe I'll pull it up about halfway and we'll just motor across. Set it up there on the bracket like so. Turn around. Got all my rods in my way, so I trap myself in here. Alright, let's see if we can get down and motor across. I'm gonna keep an eye on my GoPro or my DJI battery level too. Where are we at? Oh, we're getting low. We get over there, we're gonna hook the charger up and swap out batteries. shoot on over to the other side and see if that's chunk rock too. I think it's supposed to be. If not, this may be a short trip and we go head down to the marina. Take a ride. It's 6:46 p.m. We got till about 9 o'clock. Yeah, it looks like we got more rocks. We'll check it out. We will check it out. First, we're going to swap out these batteries. Gotta plug in my external charger while I swap out the batteries. Alright, make sure you're powered on. Alright, says it's charging. Alright, now we'll see if that worked. Still 72% on the tablet, so we're good there. I think we were successful in swapping out our battery without losing our stream, so hopefully you guys are still there and we're working. Get a little close to these rocks here. Alright, you guys drop me some comments. Are we still up and running? The fishing is going, but we ain't catching. Of course, you know, the lakes are all washed out and flooded right now. But we're trying. Let me know you guys are still live. Let me know if I'm still streaming. We swapped out the battery, so hopefully I'm still here. Let's grab the old, let's grab the fluke, see if we can whip something up. Shane says, yes, sir. Curtis says, yes, sir. All right, or Chris says, all right, sweet. So we were able to swap the battery out and not lose the stream, so that worked out well. I kind of pre-planned for that just in case. But yeah, we're doing our best to try to catch a smallie, but we've had tons of rain. No bites yet. We've been throwing around a prickly pear, a jig. I haven't thrown the Senko yet. I'm popping a Senko now just to see if we can get anybody interested. Trying to work these rocky banks and I don't know what the Smallies are doing, if they're out spawning deep or whatever. I'm just hoping with all this chunk rock, maybe they'll be up here trying to snack on some crawls or some bait fish. But we don't know. But we got a lot of rock that comes out a good little ways. So I'm hoping to find somebody on some of this chunk rock. But I'm just trying to learn Patoka. I have it on good authority that this can be a spot, a place. But I don't know if that's later on in the summer when all the spawning and stuff is done. But I just wanted to come out and familiarize myself and learn some more. And see if we couldn't get a bite or two. Thursday we were out here and caught an 18 and a 17 and a half. If you're watching and you're a boater guy, I normally fish in kayaks. So when we give out numbers, we're not talking about 17 pounders. We're talking about 17 and a half inches. So about 2.5 pounds. So in weight terms, I probably caught about a 3-pounder and a 2.5 pounder. And then a few dinks. But I really would love to get a smallie. This isn't as rocky. Now it's got gravel. So that might be a good thing. Maybe I need to get down a little deeper, perhaps. Yeah, a little deeper, perhaps. Go back to my jig. My little finesse jig. That's like a good gravel type bottom there. But it's not as chunk rock as that other bank was. But I mean, you just never know. Now, this area is holding a lot more like lake backwash kind of thing. Yeah, 17 pounders intertooth, but they have stripes, yeah. That's for sure. I should probably pick up this jackhammer and try covering some water. Probably get a toothy critter chasing that too. Of course, one of them monster wipers would be kind of fun to catch. Wiper, striper, or whatever we call them. I think that sun went back behind the clouds. I can probably put my glasses back on. It's not as bright as it was. A little more overcast. I might do that though, because those are my bifocals and I can actually read chat easier. Let me do that real quick. Switch back over. Here, fishy, fishy. Smallmouth gramps, 2 to 10 feet, depending on water clarity. 1 to 25 feet. Look it up. Okay, cool. Yeah, it makes sense if I jumped out here a little deeper maybe and then slowed down and kind of dragged it into deeper water. Get my little flapper here. Let's make some diagonal casts and drag it out a little deeper. Maybe that's the play. I'm in 10 feet out here, so I wonder if that's like an island or a point that that pontoon boat over there's on. That comes way out. I don't know if it's an island or what it is. Interesting. I need to stay off the bank anyway, just because of keep the Starlink in the open. So maybe Scott's gonna put me onto something, staying out deeper. Maybe we'll catch somebody out here. pardon me, wants to take this jig off, untie that tube on. I got a baby tube on. But I may pull it off and put that juvie crawl on it. Actually, you know what? I'm going to do that. Well, but this is basically the same thing. It's going to present the same kind of thing as the juvie. But then again, a tube kind of does the same thing too. But I've got that juvie with like an orange color to it too. That's nice seeing the chunk rock out farther too. Alright, I keep talking about the juvie crawl. Let's do it to it. Got the little baby tube on here, but we're going to do a tube crawl combo in the juvie crawl. Well, let's see, jigs, crawls. Bust out ye olde box of goodies. We're going to cut you off. We're going to grab this little dude right here. Look at that tender little morsel right there. Tender little morsel. And then straighten you up and then poke you out. Find my leader. Well, I'll tell you what, every year it gets harder to see that stupid little eyelet. Alright, there we go. There we go. Look how delicious that looks. Let's see if I can poke. There we go, look at there. That looks delicious. Josh says he spikes everything. Like the tackle holders I got, you got 3 of them, nice. Oh, let's get a little length on that cast, but that's alright. Let's actually get up there. I just realized this is on my tube cracking rod. This could probably go on a medium or medium light. This is what I like throw wacky tubes, flukes. Normally my bigger tubes, but that's alright. We'll just whip it a little harder. Uh-oh. I got a little dunk on that one. Somebody didn't want to take it though. Somebody touched it. Now I'm afraid to check and see if somebody with a toothy critter took the tube. Nope, it's still on there. I did get a little donk on it though. That's a good sign. Yeah, once you get over 50, everything's hard to see. It's all fuzzy. It's all fuzzy math. I need to get off the trolling motor and let my line do the work. Quit fishing behind me. There we go. Slow down. See if I get somebody to take that little juvie crawl. Got some out earlier trying to tie a finesse jig, getting your skirt in the knot. Yeah. I know the feeling. It's like, get out of there. I'm trying to tighten this thing up. I'm kind of watching my down chirp to see if there's anybody out here in this deeper water. Yeah, I think I've got either 12 or 15 pound line braid on this one, so it's not casting this lighter weight as easy. I gotta let some off and then kind of whip it. This is for the bigger tube, which, you know, probably get tied on next. Those juvie crawls are more for a little bit lighter action. Which I got a big tube rigged and ready. I just want to give this little guy a chance too. Just hoping that little red would give him a little excitement. Kind of got that orange flavor on the bottom. Yep, I let that one get down in the rocks. Try not to get too close, I don't want to lose signal. When we get near that cloud cover, it tends to who in the world is calling me on Facebook? Uh-oh, I think I'm gonna lose my tube. Come on, let go. Yep. That one is in the stuff.
Mr. Pee-Pee and Snuggle Boy? Oh, okay.
Oh.
This is not the angle we appreciate.
Well, I'm sorry, you called me while I'm in the middle of a live stream.
So you're doing both at once?
Well, I'm live streaming on my cameras and my tablet while I'm trying to dig this tube out from these rocks. And then
so should I watch what I say?
Oh yeah,
yes.
Say hi to the fishing fam. You're live.
Perfect. Chat, I brought everyone here today to figure out what I want to DoorDash for dinner. Please drop your recommendation. And the pretzel bites.
Oh.
And the pretzel bites.
Oh man, that does sound good. I might have to get some of those. Of course, they won't heat good.
Just pick it up on your our way home.
True. I just broke off my baby tube. I did. Guess that means I need to tie the...
I'm on the side of TikTok where they make the... Starts with a B. Fish things.
Make bait?
Kinda, yeah. But I think it's got another word for it. But they spin a string around and around and around.
Oh, they're tying flies.
Oh, yes. I will watch those for hours.
And it's always that one song, Hope I'm Not Coming On Too Strong. Do you guys know what I'm talking about?
That's funny.
Yes.
Anyways, back to the discussion of dinner. I haven't had a single thing to eat today.
I don't know, I gotta order my carb fries real quick.
Oh.
That's right. That's right, Fishing Fam. My wife and 2 children are discussing what they're ordering on DoorDash for dinner. I'm out here.
My wife.
What
I don't have a wife to cook, Hunter.
What is your wife making us?
My wife made a chicken sandwich.
Chicken sandwich. I had a spicy chicken sandwich for lunch.
From Chick-fil-A?
No. It was Wendy's because I was down south.
Where are you? What's you down south?
I'm on the lake near French Lick.
Like, we live south. What is down south?
Well, farther south. Near.
Okay.
I'm on the lake by French Lick.
The one with the loons.
Yes. I haven't seen any loons yet.
I went on a date last night and he's in love with me and I don't know how to like...
Not invited.
No, Hunter, I decided to not go on that date today.
How much did you make?
Not enough.
Well,
I think he makes good money, but I don't think it's enough because he said like growth in his company, he'd be in the same position for like another like 6 years.
Oh, no.
See, that's what I was thinking.
You gotta go for that earning potential, right, dear?
I'm not saying a word. My problem is my daughter is the catch, and I don't want somebody that's lesser chasing her. So they...
They're all lesser.
I
was
don't...
gonna hang out with this other guy tonight, but I decided 2 dates back to back probably shouldn't do it. But now I should have gone because I'm fucking hungry.
And he could have taken you, I don't see.
We were gonna go to Cork and Pig. They have really good pizza, but
pork and pig.
yeah.
Is that where we went, Faith?
No.
Oh,
We
okay.
went to a fun pub. It's not really a pub. It's like a, I don't know how to explain it. It's like a cute little restaurant.
Well, no restaurant is gonna be as cute as the Italian one that...
That's right, Fishing Fam. You're not going to get entertainment like this.
It's not...
If-
Italian cafe is not cute, but it is good. I want pasta, but I don't want Italian cafe. I'm making carrabba's.
Oh.
Okay, good, because you were getting the straight up the...
Until she does, because she's on my account, so...
Dad can just bring it home.
Yeah, bring it home.
Well, she wants to eat now. She don't want to wait till 10 or 11 o'clock.
You don't know.
The chat is... The chat is going no scrubs.
Hey, Chad, what am I doing for dinner?
Well, you should...
Cat, get with it.
You should be getting somebody to take you out for dinner.
No, but she just said she turned him down. I
Well-
don't want to go.
Well, ask him where he was going to take you and then order that.
I
She
think
just
I don't
said
want
pork
to.
and pig.
Honey, let her talk. She's grown.
Yeah, well, Dad, I already called. What up, Pete?
Hi, baby.
Oh, there's my granddaughter who has joined the chat.
Taste this pizza.
Peyton went on a scavenger hunt today, chat, and she found an Eevee Pokemon card. And they were kind of salty. They were kind of salty because my wife and family figured out where this card was before anybody even got started. So they were super stoked to see a child holding said card, but they didn't make the clues hard enough.
that.
Oh God, no.
We're in the mood for Indian food.
Indian food's awesome.
Came up here and made me eat the nasty stuff.
Yeah, but you had never had it before.
But curry's
And I
good for
never
you.
will again.
Oh, fine.
Korean food.
At Colaba, I can get 2 sides of different pastas.
All right, Josh, I got the big stupid tube on. See if I can't get somebody to pop this damn thing.
What kind of pasta? I made cheesy pasta for dinner last night.
I haven't had that in forever.
That's called macaroni and cheese, but being
No, it's not.
Oh no.
Talk about pepper.
It is so not mac and cheese.
Because it's my recipe, and you're not going to disrespect it like that.
It is really good. I just can't have that much pasta.
And now south in the land of the pines, from my way and home around.
What kind of Pokemon are you?
I am using Crobat.
What kind of Pokemon is Faith?
Oh, hold on. Hey, if Faith was a Pokemon, which one would she be? Oh, that's actually really sweet.
What'd she say?
Who'd she say?
Sylveon.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I don't know who that is.
Hold on, I'll send it to the chat here in a sec.
Which chat? Dad's chat, my chat, your chat. Okay, I'm going to get a side of Alfredo and a side of penne.
Penne, aren't you fancy?
Vodka penny?
No, it's just Pomodoro.
Yep.
And then my
Sylveon is sweet.
You know, I wasn't hungry until this phone call started. And then I realized I ate that spicy chicken sandwich on my way down here at 11 o'clock.
And then you went to a movie and you know you had popcorn and you had...
I did have popcorn and I didn't have anything else but a bottle of water.
Oh, what movie did you see?
Yes, the movie was good.
You drove to French Lick to watch a movie?
Well, I drove to French Lick to avoid the rain so that when the rain was over, then I could come fishing. So it all worked.
You went to go see The Mandalorian.
I went to see Mandalorian and Grogu.
I want to see Obsession. Everyone says that that's a really good movie.
I'm waiting for that to come out on rental and then I'll watch it.
Probably same. Ow, Pete, get off.
Everybody says they're going to JT's for dinner because of the pasta.
Well, they're going to have to drive their asses to Dallas.
Well, they're talking about your pasta.
But it's
Well,
my
my pasta's fake pasta.
Well, okay, well, it's
That's
face
my
pasta.
recipe.
It's got the little baby tomatoes in it. It's absolutely fantastic.
You broil them perfectly. Oh, it's so good. I honestly.
Which is honestly funny that they can actually hear you guys from the distance that you are from my microphone. But I do have
So good.
a quality live stream going
You
here.
have to get the ruby tomatoes. You can't just get like grape tomatoes or cherry tomatoes. You have to get the ruby tomatoes. There's a big difference.
I like DoorDash.
Yeah, I thought the movie did a good job of
Pokemon.
continuing the Mandalorian story.
Oh, cute.
Alright,
told you, right?
which
Okay.
one is...
How's it going?
I'm abandoning my caraba.
Not yet. It's been a hard day.
No.
Haven't even hardly had any bites. Small mouth, large mouth, whatever wants to bite.
Which one do you think Granny is?
I'm Charizard.
Which one? Christ, I'm scared to ask.
Charizard is the most sought after of all of them, other than Pikachu.
Oh, Papa's Mewtwo, but I'm Charizard.
Charizard's good, dude.
Peyton, am I mean?
Yes.
Yes.
No. You're not me.
See? Peyton's daddy is mean to me.
Hey, Peyton, which Pokemon would I be?
The one that's a hoe.
Jigglypuff.
Gengar? I'd be a Gengar?
Alright, I got people fishing in.
She spoke, accept the answer.
Say what?
I said she spoke, accept the answer.
Yeah, but do you remember which one Gengar is?
I do. We were
Yes.
talking about it recently.
Gaseous one.
I mean, she's not very wrong. Like, it evolved from water.
I still remember
Sounds
Faith
like
running around with her duck screaming, side, side.
Alright, I got a whole bunch of people fishing on this point. So I'm going to have to go around it and see if I can go to the marina.
Which one would Mach me be?
Now you the sound bite? Wait. God, what kind of cow did it come from?
That shit better fucking slap.
I think it's supposed to be $3, but it's listed on here as 31.
Yeah, I would go to a different.
I'm getting a different one.
I would think.
I'm gonna get pizza rolls.
I had some good stuff on the way home from work the other day.
No, I'm still getting my cheesy box.
She needs something between now and then. It takes 45 minutes for the tomatoes to get properly roasted.
I'm telling you, go get the Beppo.
Ugh.
I've never had it, but I heard it on The Boys, and it's gonna compare. It's become a bubble.
It is so not worth it. It's so not $20. That's $80.
Alright, my microphone ran out of juice, so I had to plug in my external battery to charge it while we're sitting here, because I don't have my other battery connected, which lesson learned. Yep, I had to switch, put my mic on the charge. I got my little battery back in my pocket. I guess the mic will last as long as the initial battery did, but then it ran out of juice. So I'm charging it on the fly. Alright, I think we're gonna get around this. I'm gonna pull out from here and go hit the marina, I think. While the kids are...
Alright, I don't know if we're back or not. Oh, hey, we might be. I see the stream. Let me go if you guys can hear me okay. I got my mic. Let's see, I'm gonna put my mic down here so it can stay on charge but not get in the way. Alright guys, let me know. Am I still live? We're gonna go through a chatterbait in this flat up here in front of me. I've heard good things, so I'm coming to give it a shot. I have not caught a chatterbait fish all year, but we got a shot at catching largemouth and smallmouth here. Trevor says we got you back. All right. I don't know if you guys were along for the boat ride or not, but let's see. Let's get the motor moving a little bit. We're gonna go get up on this flat and see if we can get us a chatterbait bite. I think I'm just gonna go hit the edge of this bank, and then we're gonna work our way around to Josh's point since we got a couple hours left. Good chance for largemouth or smallmouth here. Ugh. But I'm gonna try to get down here. Yep, Josh says got you now. Josh, you know where I'm at, right? Right across the street from your place. I've had a lot of people that I fish tournaments with say that this is like a good chatterbait spot, so I'm gonna see if we can get some shallower water and maybe fish this rocks all the way around to your point. Let's go to live chat instead of top chat. There we go. Yep, okay, yeah. Let's see, I need to move this mic because it is alright, I got some fuckery going on here. Let's fix this. I need you on this side. Keep that cable out of my face. Go down like this behind the camera onto the strap, and oh sweet, now you're out of the way. All right, now we're cooking. We're in 10 foot of water here. I guess I could have motored all the way down, but I didn't know what this was like. We just got her on high for now, so we'll cook down and turn around and come back up the bank this way. I just kind of wanted to put some eye on this stuff too. This actually might even be a spawning flat back here as well, but like I said, I'm gonna get down here along this bank and turn around and come back the other way. Nice looking rock. Lots of debris in the water. There's sticks and crap floating everywhere, which makes sense. I mean, it's been dumping rain for so long. I'm going to pick these rocks apart with a jig and such. Tube. Work our way around to Josh's point. I'm going to grab my football jig out of the rod locker and grab my football jig out of the rod locker and drag that point. Saw a bunch of people down there too, so it may not get much opportunity. We'll see. I know I'm kind of cooking speed wise, but I just kind of want to get back here and check it out a little. Wacky rig scenario as well. Water's a little stained. We'll kind of get back here and see what we see. Refresh my screen real quick. Still 7 feet out here. Of course, I'm assuming the water up too. I expect this would normally be like 3 or 4 feet, but who knows? Yeah, now we're shallowing out. Turn the motor down and slow it down. Somebody's spawning back here. Don't know. Alright, let's get back to the live chat. There we go. I'm gonna throw a jig all the way up on that bank. If they're up there chasing bait fish that are chasing little bugs, that's always a play. Sometimes getting in the skinniest water you can find and throwing it up on the bank and swimming it back out can get you some big fish. They'll be up there in that skinniest of water. So the story goes, if you catch the water coming up, which it could be because it's been raining, if you find where it's pushing up on the grass like this, then the microbes move up, the bait fish move up chasing those, and the bass move up chasing those. Now, again, these fish might be on the bed somewhere and none of this is in play, but sometimes it works. I had a buddy of mine who won the Kayak Adventure Series up in northern Indiana a couple weeks ago. He was basically throwing a buzzbait and shit like this, which, you know, you could probably throw a frog and do something similar, but just getting up in the skinniest inches of water that you can get and putting a bait in there, and sometimes, you know, just they'll be up in there. But I've got my football jig tied on my frog rod, so I'm not going to take it off and throw a frog on. I'm just going to swim this through some of that skinnier water just to see if we get lucky while I'm turning around to go back down this rocky bank. Alright, let's get turned back around and cast it on my good side of the boat. Trying to find these fish that are pushed up into these rocks looking for crawls, or, you know, they might be bedding bluegill that they're wanting to go munch on. Alright, we're going to stand up and do a little flipping. Too much line out, didn't get it as far as I wanted. A little rusty still. It's a bit rusty. I'm going to loosen that dial up a skosh. I want to drop it right in front of those rocks. Well, kind of like that, but not without hitting the tree first. There we go. Here, fishy, fishy. I don't stand and fish a whole lot just because my knee doesn't like it, but we're going to give it a run for a little bit. Yep, pulled my Trying to make sure my charging cable is charging my mic is not jacking with me. Yeah, I know. I figure we gotta run into one somewhere. Somebody's cruising along these rocks. I got to believe. I got a bluegill nibbling at it. He was like, brrr. That's a good sign, though. As long as he didn't steal my flippers, I'm good. Ah, get off there. Come on. Come on. Thank you. Daggone bass, remember to give me a bite. I either have to set my spool for casting or for pitching, and I don't want to be in between. That's the bitch. I'm going to be able to go back and forth. Come on, fish, where you at? I know one of you suckers are around here somewhere. I know you are up here somewhere. Me and this charging cable are gonna fight. I wonder if I can clip my mic next to my tablet. What species? Largemouth bass or smallmouth bass? There are both in here. Predominantly largemouth, but we're hunting for either or. We are at Patoka Lake in southern Indiana, where it can charge, yet you guys can still hear it. Trying to find something magnetic. Oh, maybe that'll work. Move this cable out. I'm trying to recharge my mic as we go. Oh, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to clip that power cable right in place. Huh, perfect. All right. Now I can let my mic charge. And not, the power cable not get in my way. All right. I appreciate you. Welcome to the live stream. We've still got, probably an hour and a half left. They've been tight-lipped today. They are not wanting to play. We've had a ton of rain over the last few days. Most of the lakes are washed out, flooded out. This is one of the bigger lakes in the state, so I'm hoping it's not as affected. But yeah, the fish have been really tight-lipped today. But I mean, that's fishing sometimes. If we get one bite, but we're gonna fish the riprap along this bridge and then out to a point and see if we can't pull out one of these Patoka 5-pounders. Been waiting all day for the rain to subside. We've had a couple little nibbles, most likely bluegill, but no bass yet. I caught a couple out here Thursday, a 3-pounder and a 2.5-pounder. But there are some bigs that live out here too. Just got to make the right cast in the right spot at the right time. You can see all the debris in the water. Let me get the camera down a little bit. You can see all the debris in the water that's been getting washed in with all the different rain. I'm trying to fish around that and just find somebody wanting a snack. Hoping to find somebody cruising these rocks looking for a crawl. But we've not on the bank so far with no luck. Let's see if they want the old fuzzy critter, the cat toy. We get bit on this, it'll be a big one, I feel like. We're in 8 feet of water out here. Loosen that knob up a little bit. I'll let her fly a little more. See if we can get a little closer to the rocks. Not that close. No, get off the stick. Seriously, I pull a stick into the water from the bank. That sucks. It's not like you were already in the water getting in the way. I pulled you in the water. Not for a giant to come up and mash this thing. Come and hit the cat toy. Let's get it out of the weeds. Try that again. Here, fishy, fishy, fishy. Yeah, I think I threw that right around there. See if we can get it in there closer to those shrubbery. That was a money cast. Show me a fish. Supposed to have better weather tomorrow. Might have to pack it in early tonight. Maybe go fish bogs tomorrow. I'm not casting away from the bank because I'm trying to control the situation. I'm trying to get a situation where bass may be pushing bait fish along the bank to trap them, or if they're up eating crawl. And the crawfish will be up along these rocks. That's kind of what my intent with throwing the jig was. But then bass will also use, riprap like this as a waterway. That way they can hunt shallow and swim deep if they need to. But these bass could be spawning in shallow and nowhere near here, so who knows. But not all fish spawn all the time. There's always some pre-spawn, spawn, and post-spawn. So if I can catch somebody post-spawn who's looking to eat after they hatch their eggs, cool. If I catch somebody before that are loading up, even better. But that's the strategery of the day. And right now I'm throwing this bait just because it's new and they probably haven't seen it. That being said, there was a BFL tournament here last weekend, and it could have been the fact that everybody and their brother was throwing this. But I'm about to pick that jig back up and leave it in my hand. But I gotta throw this Cinco a little too. Now, there's a good chance I get bit on one of the two. Anytime you're around bridges, it's always a good. And I say that, and there's a fish. Oh, there was a fish. He was swimming with it. Either that or I was coming along a laydown, because that felt kind of straight. But I think somebody was hanging on to the end of that Senko instead of biting it in the middle. And I talked too long and he let go of it. do want to pick up that juvie crawl. Where'd you go, homie? That's chatterbait. Get you off of the Starlink. Oh, I took the... No, I didn't. Oh, I took the juvie crawl and put the tube on, didn't I? I think I had to put the fluke back on is what I did. There's a bluegill tapping my tube. Make sure I watch the waves and not get thrown into the rocks. That was a half a bite, yeah. You can kind of tell when they're bluegill hitting it because it's like a little machine gun, like brrr. They're just pecking at it. If you get a bigger bluegill, they'll be able to eat it, but see if I can get a bigger one, eat that bigger tube. I'm just picking it, popping it back up when I feel it hit the rocks on the bottom. That way it doesn't get stuck in there, but the constant popping makes it look like a bluegill swimming. And I just realized I'm going to lose the stream as I go under this bridge because the Starlink won't have access. So I am going to motor through here very fast so that we connect up and don't lose much. Alright, let me know if you guys are back. We're on the other side of the bridge. Somebody give me some words in the chat. Let me know. Alright, we got you. That means I'm back. Sweet. Need to grab that jig back out. This tube's gonna get stuck in this brush, and I'm gonna be able to come through that stuff. I want to cast it all the way up there and swim her through. There we go. I'm looking up here at Josh's point, and it's like everybody and their brother's out. I'm half expecting when I get up here to see Josh too. It'd be kind of funny if he was in the chat while he was up here fishing, catching all the fish that I'm not catching. Nope, not today. I do need to slow down and pick apart some more of this stuff. Put it on slower speed. Try to make multiple casts up in each of these sections instead of just one or two. Yep. Threw that up there and gave it some slack and it went right down in the rocks. Got to keep her moving. Come on, I'm on the other side of the rock. Crashing the party now. There we go. My phone keeps telling me I'm changing time zones. It's funny. I haven't seen anybody catch anything out here today. Just gotta be doing the right thing at the right time. See if we can't find one of these swimming along this ledge. Probably need to pull out a little deeper. Carp up there jumping around. Let's see if they're sitting on the bottom looking up. Might fluke around some of these. Anybody home? So much trash in the water. Everything's been washed in. I'm gonna need to get a little closer though. Try to skip in between some of this stuff. That wasn't a shot. Grab my Cinco so I can try to get back in there a little more. That looks a little too light for what I'm trying to do. Cinco's a little heavier. Let me get back in there a little more. Here, you guys are in here somewhere. Don't tell me where. Between all that stuff I wasn't trying to go between. I really want to try to get right in. No, that was dumb. There's my Cinco. Put that on my hook back. Fishing out of the kayak for so long, I can't really skip as good as I want from the boat yet. Even though I am marking a lot of good fish right below me. Probably more of these weed lines. I need to stand up and do it. That's what I need to do. Shot back there in that shrubbery. Nibble there. Couldn't tell if that was a bluegill or a bass. Might have been a small bass. Felt more like the thump that we're looking for. Part of me says I need to be grabbing that crankbait, fishing the outside of this edge. Feller. There we go. We got a little one, but we got one. There we go. Little dinker, but hey, it's a bite. Take that. That's a good sign. Let's see if we can find one a little bigger. Where there's one, there's probably more. Alright, got the skunk out. Let's see if we can find us a bigger one. Yeah, finally. It's been tough today. Post rain, water's flooding. But that's the funny thing about this place. You can catch a tank in any one cast. You just never know. But it's nice to get one in the boat. After not fishing for almost a year, every bite I get these days, it's like starting all over again. So I will take and enjoy every single one, no matter how big or small they are. That is for sure. Yep, somebody's in here. You guys see up here where all these cars are parked. There's a lot of people fishing, but they're fishing straight out. We're going to go around them and fish back this way, but a little deeper. But I'm going to put some of these rods up and grab a football jig and drag it off that point. But we'll get to that when we get to that. I don't think we're going to have time to hit the marina, but that's okay. Should be throwing that jig up right there because it'll come through all that trash a little better. But they didn't want it. up now, grab my football jig before we get down around that corner. Throw a net out that way one time, just to see. Wacky way. Keep the jackhammer out. Get ready for this point up here. Hopefully there's nobody sitting specifically where I want to be, but I'm going to be out deeper casting towards them. Down to the contour of the water I'm going to be fishing too, so. Alright, football. Let's go ahead and throw a jackhammer. Actually, I'm going to throw this quickie in some of this. Swung back around here. There we go. Alright, let's make sure we got the live chat going. There we go. Let's get out from this a little bit. Right there, I should buzz this tree line with that jackhammer. bust that quickie sooner or later. Big old cat toy looking thing. Last year jig hadn't been out. This year soft plastic COVID. What's the bait gonna be next year? Be me throwing a Senko all the time, a Senko and a jig and a chatterbait. Next year to suck the rest of that. Grab that old chatterbait, pop it through there. That is, I couldn't imagine having to deal with salt all the time. The only bath my gear gets is when it rains. Right here. Trying not to let it fall too far down. Keep it out of whatever submerged weeds are there. Ah, crap. Somebody's on the boat. Gonna have to go out super deep. Cast in. Go over to the marina. But for now, we're gonna go ahead and buzz way out and get out of these guys' way. be in the lead when you're coming around that corner, that's for sure. Huh, there's Shane on the Facebooks. I got you, bro. Somebody coming as they come by, saying hi. I can always grab a screenshot of that fish later and post it. But yeah, you're right, I should have. Just because. I forgot I can actually make a clip in the live stream thingy to do it from there. But I'm not worried about it. Alright, so this corner is where I want to be. So I'm going to go straight from out here in between those guys. Let that tube fall all the way to the bottom and drag it in slowly. This deep water makes like a V up to the point about where that guy in the gray shirt's standing. Kind of points like this, and those fish will swim up that deep and then hit the shallows on either side. Now, if I could sit right here the rest of the night, that's exactly what I intend to do. Try to catch some swimming around this point. Where Josh and I were fishing last time I was here with him, we were about 20 feet more this way, but that's all underwater. So what works for me is the water's got them guys pushed back, and I can actually fish where Josh likes to fish. I'll probably go back and forth with this tube and that football jig. Since they're on this side of the bank, I'm not going to get up there where I want to be throwing the fluke. I'm just going to work on staying out of their way. Yep. Break out the big dog. That football jig out here, bigger crawl. Ready to come over the bottom. Tackle bag's working out really nice. Evolution Fishing drip series. Yeah, that tungsten football head I can really. Carp or somebody right here on the right at the surface. I caught one dink earlier, Trevor. A little 12-incher over on the rip wrap on a wacky rig. Dragging a football jig on this point, see if I can find one of these big dogs swimming around the island a little bit. I'm going to ease in a little bit since I'm going to fish between for those guys. Since nobody's got a rod pointing at me, I'll just take this little corner. Wind is kind of pushing me across this way now. Wind's kind of pulling me in there, so I'm trying to push back off. Caught one dink along the riprap on the way here. Definitely since I've been over here though. Yeah, that monster 12-incher. We were waiting for you to get back before we caught the 5-pounder. Bang it up on that log that was next to me. My seat keeps working its way loose. I need to get some Loctite and screw that back down. Got me up here shaking a little bit. Have to do that this week. That tungsten and that braid on my football head, I can feel like every rock that it touches. got something. Probably gonna catch like a 5-pound smallmouth and take it home and eat it. You got a turtle. He's cheating. Somewhat. Not a kayak fisherman, but a kayaker. Lucky there's not just enough breeze where there's no bugs messing with me. Oh, hey, there's Jeremy. I saw the he's cheating comment, but I didn't see who it was. One little dink out here, bro. It's been a tight-lipped affair. But as you know, for me, better than sitting on the couch. Oh, now he's casting at me. Sending me signals. Let me get off of his spot. Football jig. Just waiting for somebody to snatch it. You fishing bogs tomorrow? Oh, I just realized my mic fell down. Probably sounded kind of fun. See if I get my mic in my little pocket here. Keep the charging cable from jacking me up. Oh, he's waiting to cast out this way too. Oh, very good. What time are you going out there? Early? I was thinking about heading out of here early and then maybe going over there tomorrow, but I know I need to recover tomorrow before I go to work Tuesday because we got an inspection starting. So I got to milk the most of this today, much as I want to go fish tomorrow. Much as I want to. I know I need to sit home tomorrow and rest, get ready for work. That's why I don't fish on Sundays unless it's a derb. I thought about coming out there and joining you tomorrow, but I know I need to rest. I gotta pace myself. It's almost 9. I gotta start thinking about packing her up. Swing you guys around, let you look at this sunset. How gorgeous is that? Beautiful. Beautiful. There you go. Hopefully we get the water down a little bit. It was a slow day. We got one little dink, but man, look at that sunset behind me. That is absolutely gorgeous. And that's why we're out here. But we're going to have to give up the ghost, get our butts back to the ramp and get packed up and headed home. Chilling tomorrow because I got to work on Tuesday. But yeah, good luck to everybody fishing tomorrow on Memorial Day. We'll be sitting at home. It was a slow day. We got one little dink, but man, look at that sunset. Alright, there we go. Make a couple more casts, see if we can't get one more chance. But we gotta pack her up and get on the road. Got carp over there jumping out of the water. Alright, let me see if I can get back into that rock one more time. I ran out of rock when I got into the deeper water. But we got to pack it up and get ready to roll. Gonna have to dig my boat light out. Sun going down. Alright, we're giving it up. We're gonna get off the water because the sun's going down. I'm gonna find my front light at least, so I don't get yelled at by the coppers. Alright, gang, thanks for hanging out with me today. Hey, we didn't catch any big uns. Caught a dink, but at least we caught fish, which is more than I've done in over a year. So I'm always grateful to catch anything. But that's it for today. Thanks for watching the live. Thanks for tuning in. Until next time, get outside when you can and make some memories. One cast at a time. See ya. Now we gotta end it. End stream. End.